What up, friends? Asher, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. You're looking good, brother. Or sister. You know, there's like 2% of the audience out there that are ladies. Hello, ladies.
Hello there.
So you, my friend, are an unhinged psychopath. You want a fragrance that's gonna last forever. I appreciate that. I respect that. I'm gonna help you out, my G. I got a bunch of different fragrances. My G. My dog. My droog.
You're my special friend.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of different things here that you can wear that are gonna last an eternity, and a bunch of these are actually fresher fragrances. There's a lot of times when it comes to long-lasting stuff, you know, it's like really ambery, heavy, woody, spicy vanilla bombs. And those are easier to find, you know, ones that'll last forever that are kind of that style. The freshies, those are not as common. Those are rare. All right, let's go. First up, Montagne. Super plain bottle, very nondescript, very unassuming. This one is Tigris cologne. Now this one is actually new, but it smells similar to Bulgaria's Tiger. And they had one before this that was basically named just Tiger. But they've changed it up and now it's Tigris. And it has a slightly different vibe. And bros, this thing is jacked as far as the performance goes. So a lot of times when it comes to, you know, dupe fragrances, inspired by fragrances, all that stuff, you know the drill. You gotta spray them on and then just set them to the side and just let them chill for like, you know, a couple weeks and come back to it and then, oh, it's better now all of a sudden. Usually the reason for that is they just blend it, bottle it, and get it up out of there before it's really had time to mature at all. So it's kind of fun. It's like a little science experiment. You get to do their job for them. You get to let the fragrance get better after you've already purchased it instead of purchasing it already ready to go. It's fun, right? Because it sucks balls, but then it no, that's stupid.
Use your common sense.
Brands, what is wrong with you? Anyway, what I was saying is, with this one, it's ready to roll right off the rip, or at least it was for me. Knock on fake wood. So this one has a few notes on the front here. Ambroxan, grapefruit, and woody. We all know that note, woody. That's a good one. Don't need any specifics on that, you know, all wood is the same. But guys, this thing is a monster, a straight up beast. The citrus smells awesome off the top. This stuff projects, it lasts for an eternity for this type of scent. So if you like fragrances in that tiger style, which, you know, could also remind you of vibrato a little bit, this right here, one of the best. It's actually surprisingly strong. When I got this in, I sprayed it on and it was just kind of like filling up my entire space. And by that, I mean room. Nice. Now, if you already own their other version of this, I don't know that you need to like rush out and grab this one. But man, if you're looking for a Tiger alternative. Montagne gets slept on a lot because they look, yeah, they're sneaky. Let's switch it up from summer to a fall and winter type of vibe. 1 Million Night Elixir by Rabanne. This thing right here would make Paco proud. Shout out Paco Rabanne. Spray out a fragrance for Paco, F's in the chat. This right here is crazy. It is strong. If you wanna go heavy with it, you can, but you may turn into like a mutant, you know? Like X-Men type of vibe, you know, like it seeps through your skin, gives you potential powers, like the power to develop cancer. That power would suck, but you could rock with that. Watch this, guys. It's not quite as good as Magneto, but we'll take what we can get. Got citrus off the top, it's got maple syrup, cinnamon, of course, and a good dose of sweetness, especially as it dries down. Vanilla, benzoin, and labdanum. So you're getting like tripled up right there. It's gonna remind you a little bit of 1 Million Elixir, which makes sense, of course. The maple syrup gives it an interesting, almost tang to it. It is, for me, solely for fall and winter time. More of an evening scent. You wear this bad boy during summer, you're asking for trouble. It is a monster. Let's go back to a freshie right here. Ahmed Maghribi, and it is Kaaf. I know it's not an English name or anything like that, but sometimes some of the Middle Eastern names on their fragrances, just saying it phonetically in English, you're like, yeah. For example, Riffs, they just came out with a fragrance that is, it's named Hoor. At least that's Hoor, H-O-O-R. At least this one's not that bad, you know. So with this one, it's got a watermelon note. It has lavender in there. It's gonna remind you of Percival, of Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, fragrances like that. Super clean, very airy, almost ozonic, fresh, but at the same time, very long lasting as well, because, you know, if you hear, oh, it's like Percival or like I said, Fierce, but it has more of an ozonic, lifty, kind of zingy nature to it, you might think, oh, it's probably not gonna be quite as heavy as those then, but it is. This stuff packs a punch. It lasts a very long time. There is also a noir version of this, a noir flanker, but that does not smell like this at all. That one is more like a Dolce & Gabbana K Eau de Parfum. So between the two, this one is the one I'd be on the lookout for. Pretty good. Let's hop back again, cool weather. So we like warm, cool. Scandal, Elixir by Jean Paul Gaultier. This little dude right here has a big blast of black cherry off the top. Woo, nice. It's not gonna be a hyper sweetened cherry, so do keep that in mind when it says black cherry, it definitely means that. More of a faint bit of tartness to it and a unique fruity open compared to your more typical apple, grapefruit, bergamot, etc., etc. Also a nice little bit of booze in there, some patchouli, vanilla as it dries down, tonka also. I absolutely love this fragrance for fall and winter time. I also really like Scandal Absolute. I think this one and that one are probably the two best in the entire lineup. And another good thing about this, it flies under the radar. Just a little bit, you know, stronger with you powerfully, specifically. That one has cherry as well. That's much more popular. So that one, you're potentially going to bump into more often, or at least bump into people that know about it. This one, a little bit more low key, while still lasting an eternity and projecting like a beast. Also, good compliment puller. Nice! Up next, something for warm weather, something that's gonna be having you smelling like a tropical explosion. In a good way. Well, not like you exploded tropically. That would be bad. It's more like you enjoy the fine smells of tropical fruits. Yeah. Before that though, I would like to give you some codes. Check it out, bros. We got codes 10% off on FragFlex anytime you shop there. I'm talking if you place 50 orders, you can use the code 50 times. If you've never shopped at FragFlex, big, huge discounter fragrance buy is FragFlex essentially. They got niche, they got designers, they got clones, they got it all. Also have codes for JOMASHOP that only work within the JOMASHOP app, and then codes for Perfume Box, Beauty House. All right, let's explode tropically with this right here. Safari Breeze by French Avenue. And I'll do a giveaway in today's video as well. I haven't figured out what it's gonna be yet, but I'll find something. I've picked up a couple of things here recently that I can give away. Safari Breeze, this one right here opens up big time. It has a strong opening, especially if you just do what I did and just stuff it straight up your nose hole the second that you spray it. You really wanna be able to differentiate between those fruity notes. You gotta really, yeah, that's good. That's real good. So this smells similar to Tales from Zanzibar. That is what it is inspired by. Which that one's really well known for its note of guava, and this does have a little bit of that vibe, even though guava is not an official note in here. It also has black currant and citrus off the top as well. Gonna get some coconut, some mint, a little bit of woodiness as it dries down. Really, really, really solid longevity for me, especially for a fresher type scent. But do be aware, pretty big pop in the opening and a little bit of tartness in there from the currant. So it's not just all fresh and sweet. There's a little balance in there, but not everybody's gonna like that. Follow that one up with another French Avenue Liquid Brun limited edition. And this one can be a bear. It is powerful. So when I was first testing this out, I was wearing it side by side with the OG. I mean, you got to, right? So I had this one on over here, had the OG on over here, and this stuff was just absolutely overwhelming the original. So when I was trying to compare them side by side, it was like I was just getting this for the most part. Woo! Woo! Of course, inspired by Altair by Parfums de Marly, so it's gonna be right in that style. It is what you would expect of a limited edition, as I've said before. Basically take the OG, make it bolder, deeper, heavier. Orange blossom, vanilla, cardamom, some woodiness in there as well. Actually more woodiness in here compared to the OG. Also comes in a bigger bottle, so you get more of it. A 150 ml size here. It's not overcompensation, that's just giving you a little extra, a bang for your buck. And also they're thinking about the children. They put for external use only, in case any small child or adult might look at this bottle and think, I should probably drink this. Oh, external use only. God, I'm so glad they put that there, man. I was about to chug this. Ooh, Smart, smart. The scent Elixir. Yeah, another Elixir. Hugo Boss this time. The scent is almost like a half-forgotten line at this point, you know? You get all kinds of Boss bottled fragrances coming out, but not too much the scent. I mean, to be fair, we did have that new like intense version come out and everything, but they don't get a ton of fanfare. Just like, oh, the scent. But it has a pretty unique scent profile when you compare it to all the other designer lines out there. You know, that Manenka fruit kind of gives it its own vibe, its own personality. Exotic, sweet, fruity, slightly dusty. Yeah, all that. Even though officially this one has a lame 3-note note breakdown without that Manenka fruit that I mentioned. This one is pepper, like chili pepper, hence the red coloration. Oh, you see what they did there? You're gonna have to believe me that it's red. I know that right now this probably doesn't look red with these lights and everything, but it is. And then lavender, wow. And some woods. What a crazy breakdown. So unique. Wow, I'm proud of you. Actually, it also smells similar to the scent Magnetic. Also a really good one. And I'll tell you another thing about this scent fragrances. These are sneaky, sneaky good compliment pullers. People by and large really like the scent fragrances when they smell them in the air, but they do have a little bit of a, you know, interesting flair to them. Also, this stuff lasts forever, so that's nice. Oh, check it out, it's Club de Nuit, iconic extrait. So we come from the Boss over here with 3 notes, over to the Armaf that has a boatload of notes. At least comparatively speaking, a boatload. I mean, if you go back 20 years ago or something, the note breakdown would look pretty standard for the time, but things have simplified. And by simplified, I mean stupefied. And Hugo Boss is one of the worst offenders because the new Boss Bottle Beyond has 2 notes, which means they looked at stuff like this, the scent Elixir, and they thought to themselves, dude, that is too complex. Nobody's gonna be able to follow 3 notes, big dog. We need to cut it down. 2. Can't wait for their new stuff that's gonna have just 1 note. This one smells like cinnamon toast crunch cereal, but it's a fragrance though. Okay, Armaf. So Club de Nuit, iconic, the original Bleu de Chanel alternative, and this one is right in that style as well. Citrus, ginger, melon, incense, a whole bunch of different notes in here, like I said, especially compared to some of these. Longevity is great. It lasts a really long time. Maybe not the craziest as far as projection goes, but as far as being long lasting, it will stick on your skin for a very long time. And as far as which Bleu de Chanel it smells most similar to, not really one-to-one to me of any of them. And as far as which Bleu de Chanel it's most similar to, you know, it's been compared to just about all of them. L'Exclusif, the Parfum, the Eau de Parfum. I think if you're side-by-siding them, it's probably a little bit closer for me to the Eau de Parfum, but it still has kind of like a little twist. You know, it's gonna be right in that style, but I don't think it's like a one-to-one of any of them. I know initially everybody was like, well, it's gonna be L'Exclusif. It's gonna be L'Exclusif because that was the newest one. But if you side-by-side it, it's not. Bros, 212. Yes, Carolina Herrera, the Parfum. Unfortunately, when it comes to Carolina Herrera, a lot of people don't really check for 212 anymore. They just don't. I mean, you can argue otherwise and be like, nah, man, 212 is still a classic. It's this, it's that. And, you know, fair enough, but they come out with stuff, and by and large, people don't really care. Not in a huge way, anyway. This one, though, I think, especially if, big if, you can get it for a decent price at discounters down the road, is a sneaky good pickup. I'm not saying rush out and purchase it at full retail like I did or anything like that, but you know, if time goes on and because it's not really, you know, crazy well known and you know, a lot of people aren't clamoring to pick it up, the price dips, that's when you scoop in. You scoop in. You swoop in. No, not me, brother, I scoop in. I scoop right in there. Holla at your boy. All right, so what do we got going on? We got ginger off the top, little cardamom in there as well. Actually, surprisingly decent freshness off the top, especially when you look at the bottle and you know it's a Parfum and all this, you're expecting it to be really, really heavy. It's got iris in there, it's got lavender, so it has this nice clean aspect to it. Then as it dries down, vanilla, leather, woods, olive venom, all of those notes come out. It does get heavier, deeper, richer, sweeter. It is a little bit similar, and this is kind of funny actually, to Le Male Elixir, which, oh, that makes sense now, yeah. copied homework. But it doesn't come across the exact same as that. It has its own identity. It's super wearable, really nice for spring, fall, or winter, and one that very few people are rocking right now. Well, let's wrap it up. Boom, Myslf Le Parfum. Myslf Eau de Parfum, and also Absolute, and also this one, some of the most popular fragrances in the entire world right now for men. And this one right here has really nice staying power. Great for fall, great for winter, great for early spring. Nice evening scent almost year round really, because it still has some of that cleanliness from the original. A little bit deeper, a little bit darker, without ever going divisive or funky or off-putting. Massive, massive compliment puller. And a lot of people will put a little more respect on this one than the OG because it does have a little more of that deeper character to it, which just automatically means a lot of people are gonna be like, yeah, that's the good one. Yeah, that one right there. They cooked with that one. The other one sucks. That one, good. Myslf Le Parfum. Let me find something. Something completely different, boom. Désir Toxique L'Intense by Myslf. This is a totally random thing. Oh, so I'll do a giveaway for this one right here. If you wanna be entered in the giveaway, like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave me a comment. In the comment, just let me know your go-to long-lasting fragrance, whatever it is. I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, post it up on the post tab of the YouTube channel with a bunch of other winners. If you're the winner, hit me up. I will ship that one out to you wherever you are. All right, guys, that'll do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.